Tamir is a soldier. He was then a non-combatant soldier. So, and he's still captive in Gaza. So, please, Alon.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is my son. This is Tamir Nimrodi. He's my eldest son. He was 18 when he was kidnapped. Tamir have two more sisters, Mika 17 and Amit 15. Tamir was kidnapped at October 7th at 7:12 with his two friends, Sherman and Beiser. All of them were at a good shape on their feet. And unfortunately, Sherman and Beiser found dead at the tunnels at early December. We don't know anything about Tamir since that day. Just we saw the videos that Hamas sent of the kidnap video. And since then we don't know anything. I said, my friend here, that Tamir are uncombat soldier. He's an army teacher. And he volunteered to do that Saturday. Tamir have a lot of values. And the values of Tamir we can see on a small paper manual that we found his stuff at the base. The values are: succeed, help many people, create large group of good friends, and don't harm anyone. Those are the values of my son. Those are the values that everybody here must take with him and put it in his mind and in his heart. Since that day, I quit my job, and my only job is to bring them back home, my son and all the rest of the hostages. And I'm weak because it's a long year. It's completely one day from October 7th to today, till today. The days don't change. I'm very worried about Tamir. I'm very worried about the hostages, and every day counts. And just today I wrote at the newspaper that there is a huge fear about the hostages that's still alive, because they in a very bad condition. A bad condition, more bad condition than it was before, and every day counts. You don't know what to do, and you need help. You need Europe to help us to bring them back home. So, if you have a question, please.
Please, questions. Identify your media. So.
Yeah, organized for the L'Avenir newspaper. Do you have information about the fact that he's still alive? Or?
No, we don't have any clue if he's still alive or not. I believe that he's alive because he was captured on his feet in a good shape, but we don't know anything since then. No one in the Israeli intelligence gave us any clue about his condition because there is no any clue. But I believe he's alive. and if he is alive, he will survive it.
Next question. Yes.
Alexi from RTL. Who are you meeting here and what are you expecting?
I must say, I will start with the end of the question. I must shout it out loud. So I must do it, and everybody must do it, because there is a life that in the tunnels in Gaza. And today I will meet Prime Minister of Belgium and the President of the EU Commission. Yeah. And last night I have met officers to NATO, European officers to NATO, and just represent my son and the hostages, and that you must know that there is beautiful person behind the headlines of the October 7th, and with fantastic values. So I must shout my shout till they all come back home.
Question, both.
Yes, moves up a lot across these times. I think we all support you, and understand that you must do everything to bring about the release of your son and the hostages. I would like to ask you now, with this situation now, with the focus in the north, in the war against Hezbollah, what do you think? Is the Israeli government a bit indifferent to the plight of the hostages? Could they have done more to agree with Hamas on a ceasefire and hostage deal? And do you think that Israel should be prepared to pay almost any price to bring home all hostages? Thank you.
Thank you. I think that it's different things, but it combined, because we must do that job at the north, and we must do the job at the south in Gaza. And I'm not a politician, I'm not in the army, so I'm just a regular person that his life collapsed. And I think that we must do anything to bring them back home, because we have a solution for everything. So we can't help something in our mind that it's taboo and keep on it. No, we must do anything to bring them back home, and then we have a solution. Believe me, we have a solution for everything. So I think that the Israeli government and the European governments can do more, and as I thought before, and I'm thinking that even now, huge countries and strong countries in Europe and also United States could do more, much better, and they could bring them back home a few months ago if they had done a little different things. You know, there is a NATO member called Turkey. They giving actually money to Hamas right now. NATO member. So Europe can stop it, but nobody care. Nobody do thing like that to Turkey. Why? Because she's a NATO member. So it's insane that huge countries in Europe close their eyes in front of that. They know that Turkey gives money to Hamas.
Yes.
David Price, Your Democracy. What do you think is the minimum that Hamas will yield the hostages? What's the lowest point in the... And secondary, the other question, which is one you've raised, there are a number of hostages which have two passports, dual passports, and a lot of them are European passports. And I'm wondering whether there is... I'm shocked sometimes that there's so little reaction from the European states as you are. Is there any grouping, association, pressure point where the European dual passport holders are actually pressurizing the system? And
So I will start with the first question. I think nobody knows what's on the Sinwar minds. So we don't know what's the lowest price or the lowest thing that he can make or we can make to bring them back home. I think he's a brutal person that don't care about anything, just on himself. So I can't think or say what Sinwar or Hamas want. I don't think that all the group of Hamas know what Sinwar want. And there is no contact with him for a few weeks, so we don't know. For your second question, my son Tamir is a German citizen. And we have a huge support from the German government. But even that, I think that they can do more because they are alliance of Turkey, and they can stop Turkey to do or say a thing like that, like they saying every day against Israel, and they can tell them that they won't be a member at NATO if they continue to give money or support Hamas. So I don't know. There is no large group that combined all the European citizens, but each country in Europe take care about the hostages that holding a passport. And there is now about 20 German hostages in Gaza. So it's the largest hostages group.
Alon, what is your profession?
I'm a real estate agent, and also I have a catering food, and but it's a year that I'm only at that way to find them, to find a clue or a solution how to bring them back home.
More questions?
I'm just wondering if there's the German is obviously very important, but there are British, for example, and obviously if you have a group of not just national to organize it, but the whole European.
There is also from United States. There is hostages from India and from Thailand, also Nepal, also. I don't have the power to do that, so we had a few times, maybe 2 times, I think, that all the European ambassadors in Israel that they have hostages in Gaza made an appointment or a conference to bring them back home. But they don't talk with us like a group. I last week, I think, 2 weeks ago, I was in south of France, and they talking about the hostages that holding a French passport. So they separate. But I think that if it will be a strong group, it will be better to the hostages. Not separate. Don't work separate. Work like a group.
Yes.
If I may, a follow-up question. You mentioned Turkey and its fall, and we know that they haven't condemned Hamas terror attack against Israel, and as you said, they are supporting Hamas. But on the other hand, that might perhaps give them some leverage to influence Hamas. Shouldn't perhaps they will try to pressure Turkey to become involved in the mediation together with other countries? That's one question. And another question is, if you yourself, have you met Prime Minister Netanyahu? And what was your impression? Do you still believe in him? Thank you.
So for the first question, I'm pushing Germany to get involved, Turkey, inside the negotiations. I think that they started a bit a few weeks ago because Erdogan wouldn't talk with Steinmeier for months. He didn't want to talk with him about it. And I think 2 or 3 months ago, they had the first meeting from October 7th. The Israeli government and the Israeli intelligence said that Turkey won't help. But I think the opposite. I think that if we will press at the right button, they will help. And the German government have the power to do that. I've met Netanyahu 10 months ago. I can't say something good on him. So I prefer not.
I have a question. You mentioned that you will meet with the President of the Commission,
Yes.
Ursula von der Leyen. What will be your message to her?
The message will be that we are, as a country, Israel, we are standing in front of the terror. We are the barrier between the terror and Europe. So don't be blind. Be with us. I have met the foreign affairs minister of the. Sorry?
Joseph
Borrell, yeah. 1 week ago in the United States. And
New York.
yeah, and I told him on his face, a small thing. Everybody here like to drink wine or beer or whiskey, or try to get a bottle of whiskey or wine and get into Gaza. Let's see if you will come back. There's a few ladies here. Wear a swimsuit. Go to the fantastic beaches in Gaza Strip. Let's see if you're coming back. So don't talk with Israel about human rights when there is even one single human right in Gaza. This is the message.
More questions? Yes.
In the Gazette of BE, how is your family coping with the disappearance of your son?
I can't even explain the feelings. My feeling, I can explain. I know that my 2 daughters, they're so different. Because my youngest one, she's very active at the war to bring her brother back home and all the hostages. and she's going to interviews, to demonstrations, such as. They're scared. They're worried. They want him back home. So I really don't know what's on their mind or their heart, but I know that it's very difficult for them because Tamir is the eldest brother, and we are a great family that he loves them very much and they love him very much, and it's very difficult. Now we have holidays and it's very difficult to celebrate holiday without knowing anything about Tamir. Our hearts broken.
Tell us a bit about your son, his life.
Tamir, a very smarty boy. He's autodidact. He learned almost everything by himself. Didn't open a book, but very, very smart boy. His interest is in science, and geography, history, Bible. He don't like soccer or basketball or something like that, but and he just started to. I will take the second sentence here. Create large group of good friends. He just started to do that, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And a year ago, in the New Year, the Jewish New Year Eve, he said to his friends and teachers, that it's the best part of his life. What he's doing now in the army base, with his friends, he loved them very much. And almost every single day since then, I'm getting messages from his friends that I didn't knew. Even today, telling me great things about my son, how he was supporting them, hugging them, and changing their mind about things that disturbed their life, like a psychologist. And how fantastic boy he is.
Question?
I'd like to, I'm not sure you can answer the question, but it's the important point you raised about the religious control in Gaza, about whiskey and female dress and everything else. Everything is under that control. And the big question is, what's going to happen? Can that control be changed? The mentality that those who bring in a bottle of whiskey will be threatened. I mean,
but you can go to other way. We mentioned before Turkey. Turkey, 100 years ago, separated religious from the country. It's the other thing what Erdogan doing, yeah. But in Turkey, you can drink whiskey and beer and go with the bikini to the pools and the beaches.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way, and that's another way. black and white at that thing. So don't be black. Don't be black. So we know that in every religion there is a radicals. I don't think that radical in every religion it's good. Not in the Jewish religion, not in the Muslims, not in the Christians. Be in the middle or be on the right side of the map. Radicals, not for me. So you don't must be radical. And but you know the problem is you are radical. You don't allowed to drink whiskey, beer, or wine, or go with swimsuit or bikini to the beach. But you are talking about human rights.
Mm-hmm.
How come it doesn't come together? Simple as that.
No question back? If not, I'd like to thank you, and we will take some interviews if you want to have interviews. Just let us know, and we will do it. Thank you so much for coming and for your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Alon.
Okay.